really loved the first 40 minutes. What is up, dudes? It's Jeremy. Today I'm talking about Cop Car, which actually released late last year, but I just finally got around to watching it. So I'm going to be doing a discussion video. Spoilers. There will be spoilers. If you don't want to see them or hear them, just get out now, dudes. But come back later after you watched it, okay? So Cop Car tells the story of two young boys, and they come across this cop car in the middle of a field. It's completely, there's no one around, and they're teenage boys. So like, what do? Of course, they take the cop car and they take it for a joyride. And then we see Kevin Bacon come across him, who is the cop that the car belongs to, and you find out he's kind of a shady character, and you kind of get the story why his car is where it is and why he's not there with it. And then he's on the hunt for these two boys to get his car back. Really interesting concept. As soon as I heard about it, I read about it sometime last year, and I was like, wow, that is a really great idea. I don't know, something about it. And so I watched the movie, and I really loved the first 40 minutes. Actually, even a little bit more than that. It was really just the last 20 to 30 minutes. Like the third act of the movie, I was not a fan of. It doesn't take like a wild turn or anything like that. It's actually pretty predictable, and I just didn't like. I still didn't like the direction they went with it. I guess it does take like a little bit of a dark turn. So, all right, we'll get into it with spoilers because I already gave the spoiler warning. So if you're still here, you're here for the spoilers. So we suppose that one of the boys, and I can't remember either of their names. One of them, of course, is dying in the back seat, and the other one is driving into town. So he's speeding up. He's driving like 80 miles an hour or whatever, and it's left up to you whether the boy dies or lives. I would like to think, because of the change in the other boy finally speeding up. Earlier in the movie, he was only driving 30 miles an hour. Now at the end, he's like, oh shit, I gotta drive 80 miles an hour. That little simple thing there makes me want to believe that the kid will probably survive. In reality, I know that I'm probably wrong. It's probably just kind of a bleak ending. It's like, yep, the kid's dead. The other kid just drives the car into town, and his parents are mad at him. I don't know. He lives a shitty life. So yeah. I wasn't a fan of that, and of course, like, everybody's dead at the oil rig or whatever. I didn't think that was that great of an ending for Kevin Bacon either. I feel like it should have been something more. Like, even if one of the kids had shot him in the face to finish him off, like, I would have been better off with that than kind of, this standoff and just everybody dies. It's like, come on. But the first hour or so, first hour was so intense and so intriguing, and I really love. First of all, the feel of the movie was kind of like this Coen, Fargo / Killer Joe. Which Killer Joe, if you haven't watched that by now, and you even remotely enjoyed this movie, you need to go back and watch Killer Joe, because that was a really good flick with Matthew McConaughey, Juno Temple, a couple other people, and so it kind of had the same vibe to it, and I was really digging it, especially once you get into Kevin Bacon and his storyline. Kevin Bacon is what took the movie from like just this decent premise to like, and actually I thought it was a good movie. I don't want to say it's a bad movie now that I watched the whole thing, but I thought when it was all said and done, I was going to think it was a lot better than I did after it started. Kevin Bacon was like, his acting was on point. He was so Kevin Bacon, and he just made it really great. He played a really great character, and he played it really well. The two boys, as far as like child actors go, because it's always a thing, like, are these child actors going to ruin the movie or not? I thought they were okay. They weren't really that great, but they weren't horrible. Their dialogue was pretty funny. They kind of made up like they broke up those tense moments with kind of their humor back and forth. Just being, like I said, teenage boys, just cussing and stuff. The cinematography was definitely a strong point for the film too. I thought that it was all done really well, and the score was also done really well. They all just kind of set the tone, they set the mood, in a really spectacular way for this type of movie. Look, all in all, I'm not saying it's a bad movie by any means, but I'm just saying when it was all over with, I kind of had this sour taste in my mouth. But like I said, it's still worth watching because the very beginning and the first hour or so, I thought were really done well overall. And if you're a Kevin Bacon fan, then definitely watch this movie because Kevin Bacon is like one of the saving graces of this movie. Let me know what you're thinking, dudes, because like I said, I'm pretty torn about this one. And feel free to like, comment, subscribe, of course. If you got any requests or if you got any movies that you want to see discussions rather than just those 1-minute short reviews, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, dudes.